Hello, everybody. Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Unleashing them. So we got Glitch Mitch. They're going to make a clone of him. It kind of sounds like they are. So we have to watch and see how this drama plays out with Glitch. And we're seeing his wife. Is she being exposed as a Chinese spy? So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So we see President Trump. He's speaking with the NATO Nazis, and they're doing what Nazis do. They want to destroy the world. So they want to give money to Ukraine so they can destroy a peaceful group of people, the Russians, right, who used to be the Tartarians, who were destroyed by this evil cabal long ago. So we're definitely, you think he's going to be 100% cloned? I think so. Because I've been saying for a little bit now that Mitch, where's Mitch? And this yesterday, there's several people that came out. Laura Logan, not Laura Logan. Anyway, a couple of people came out and said, "Hey, Mitch is brain dead. We get it from reliable sources." So I'm like, yeah, I kind of thought that was happening. So, and now they're saying that he is he's talking to like senators and so forth. He's doing well. He's like catching up on stuff. I'm like, gosh, wow. So once he's called out, then they're calling out his wife for not being with him, and she went to China. So I mean, imagine your loved one is in the hospital, and would you run off to a foreign country? You'd be there by their side, right? But yeah, she went to China. They called her back, and they want to have her report and give her new instructions, right? So it's funny how these things are starting to work out now. Now, President Trump, like I said, is calling out the Nazis. He's not fond of them, so he's there in Ankara, in Turkey, and talking to them and telling them that they're all pieces of shit.
Group drawdowns in Europe likely? And are you satisfied with the progress that NATO allies have made?
Well, we're going to see. I was very disappointed with NATO. And frankly, if it weren't held in Turkey, where my friend happens to be a very strong leader, a very strong person, it's possible that I wouldn't have attended. I felt I had to attend because of the fact that, I know he's gone all out. It was a big...
Now, President Trump has gone there, and they're selling F-35s, which are extremely advanced aircraft, to Turkey. Now, we know that Turkey, a couple of years ago, had a very suspect earthquake, back-to-back earthquakes, just like we just saw in Venezuela, very suspect. And, they're getting pressure from the deep state for some reason. And so President Trump is going to give them aircraft that will help protect them, I guess. And there's people within our military deep state that are speaking out about that. So watch who speaks out about this, right? So this is a positive thing that's happening, but you're going to see some naysayers. I've already started to see them online.
Thing to have NATO come to Turkey or any place else. It's a big thing, but we weren't treated well because we did something in Iran. We don't need anybody's help. I didn't even want their help, but before.
So interestingly, after he made these comments, trashing NATO, then their NATO's puppet in Iran started attacking ships in the Hormuz Strait. How about that? Breaking the peace plan. So it's all tied together. That's why no one in Europe would help us, United States, take out this incredibly evil terrorist organization that's running Iran, has been for 47 years. Should have been taken down right from the get-go. But, they're allowed to, take over. And, Jimmy Carter, was the president when they took over. He was a puppet of the deep state, and he did nothing. Of course, he did nothing. He was part of the problem, talking bad about the Shah, and then forces took him down. So we'll see. We'll see how this all works out. But, you know, you go against President Trump, usually it does not work out for you.
Or I asked, they said they wouldn't be there. And we've invested trillions of dollars in NATO. Why? To protect European countries and others, Canada, etc., but to protect people, countries from generally.
Protect Canada. Kind of toss that in there. Canada for the last 2 years has more people leaving, and their birth rate is not keeping up. So they've actually had a population decrease in Canada for the last 2 years.
It used to be the Soviet Union, now it's Russia. And I say that's fine, but you would think that they'd be very willing to do something to help us. And they really weren't. In the case of the United Kingdom, the prime minister, I guess he's no longer there, maybe because of this. It was a very unpopular thing he did. He said, no, we'll help after the war is over. I said, I don't need that kind of help. We didn't need any help at all. And in a way, I was testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we help them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down.
See, it sounds like he's saying that he tested them to see if they would help, and they didn't help. So what do you think happens now? He tested them to see if they would help. And we've given trillions to them over the years, bases, agreements, all these different things. And the militaries of Europe are trashed because they've depended on the U.S. Of course, they've had this illegal immigration because they're falling birth rates as well, because wokesters don't have children. And that's happening in the U.S. Wokesters are basically taking themselves out, right? So we don't have to do it. I like that. Now, those of us that are conservative are still having lots of babies, right? Just as many as before. But because the wokesters are, not having babies anymore, I don't know, maybe their sex changes and everything else they're having, they can't have babies. So that is leading to population decline in America. Now in Europe, same thing. They have had, they've tried to balance that by shipping in these illegal aliens. Yes, there's multiple reasons why they do the things they do. So there is, a birth imbalance that's happening, and I'm cool with that because we're taking out the leftist communist. Communism is back in, I think, 1954, they voted it to be illegal. Communism is illegal. The Communist Control Act of 1954 makes membership in the Communist Party illegal for U.S. politicians, prohibiting them from serving in certain representative capacities, right? So that's some of the stuff we're starting to see is being revealed. I think that, eventually these guys are going to go, they're just going to raid their offices. Due to the Communist Control Act of 1954, you're being arrested and for treason to the United States, and you will go to Guantanamo where you will be tried and executed, right? So I don't know, maybe that's in Mike's world. I don't know if that really is going to happen, but we'll see.
And Germany turned us down, and France turned us down. And it's okay. But, why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
Why? Why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars? I think we're not going to in the future. So I think this is, and that's why Iran broke out again, right? So we're seeing that kicking off, firing up again. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but let's look at Glitch and what's going on with him. Now, his wife is Chinese, And there's some interesting things that have been shared about that. So Elaine Chao is his wife. Sequence of events that has fueled intense public scrutiny and questions about timing, transparency, and official disclosures. Agreed on a new vision of a constructive China-U.S. relationship of strategic stability. So this is McConnell. His office statement is that he just continues to improve, right? So his clone is in the making. Just stand by. We'll have him out again soon. McConnell suffers cardiac arrest, CPR in progress, advanced life support dispatched to his D.C. home. Now, there was a reporter that went to his D.C. home and talked to one of his neighbors, and his neighbor said that she had not seen, since the ambulance arrived and took him away, that she has not seen anyone come to the home. Now, this is his D.C. home, right? So obviously, he has another home in Kentucky, and I guess Elaine Chao has, probably because her daddy is very, very wealthy, shipping magnate for China. And I guess she probably has homes in China too. So she's there in China. While her husband is unconscious, brain dead in the hospital, I guess. I don't know. She knows that maybe China's making the clone, and she's there to pick it up. Elaine Chao meets with Chinese Vice President Han Xing in Beijing. Chinese embassy statement. Both leaders agreed on a new vision of a constructive China-U.S. relationship of strategic stability. Embassy of the People's Republic of China, United States. Information blackout. McConnell's office maintains near total information blackout, no diagnosis, no prognosis, just continues to improve. No comment, no details, no answers. Silence is the message. Right? EMS audio released. Office finally issues milquetoast statement after independent journalist Desiree Townsend releases EMS audio. Office finally issues statement. So I guess they figured that, like all politicians, if you just ignore them, they'll go away. Right? So it didn't work out. Leader McConnell is receiving excellent medical care and continues to improve. The questions are loud, the answers are not. So I think they're cloning McConnell. And so W.R. Schock wrote in my X post, says, yes, Special Forces found clones in an underground cloning lab in Yukon, Alaska, of McConnell, AOC, Pelosi, Iliad, whoever there's, Newscum, and other prominent parasites. Right? They have multiple avatars backed up for all their key positions. Once cloned, they get RC chipped. All right. So I don't know. Maybe that's not real. Maybe it is. So I'm not. I don't have any dog in that fight. Right. So I'm just making observations. Right. So. Is he going to come back as a clone? I kind of got that like when I remote viewed him and I saw he was bye-bye, I saw that they were working on a clone for him. Right? So maybe now that's been exposed and we're all talking about it, they're like, damn it. That Jaco, he always dimes us out and we can't do this stuff. Right? So, all right, we'll see though. I think they're going to bring out a clone, right? So, just like Mark Twain, the rumors of my demise are exaggerated. He's going to come out and say that. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's fun. It's fun to show them being stupid. Now, being stupid, you have to be careful with stuff that's out there, guys. And I've already tried to correct a couple people here now. Now, let's look at this. Now, James Woods, he posts some really, really good stuff. Now, this says, you're looking at this picture. Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan demand churches stop ringing bells on Sunday. community. This is a Muslim majority town, and you have to respect us. According to Sharia, church bells cannot be louder than our Islamic call to prayer. Now, let's look at these. Oh, is that a cross there? That's not what Muslims wear. That's not what Muslims wear. And this guy's holding a cross. And these guys have some interesting beards, don't they? They have some very interesting beards. There's another cross back there. So now if you look at Eastern Orthodox Christians, they look like this. The priests look like this. All right, Mr. James Woods. So this is part of the disinformation that's running around out there, guys. So if you post this, you look like a dumbass, because these are Eastern Orthodox Christians, and they love church bells. They love them, and they ring loudly wherever they can, where the Eastern Orthodox are, right? So be careful out there. So I posted this picture of Eastern Orthodox Christians. This is a picture of Christian Orthodox Christians who love bells. So everybody's making comments about Islam. So everybody's going to look stupid when they find out this is East, or they probably don't care, right? Nobody's commented on my post. They don't care, right? Hey, we're just going off on Muslims. So then that's where it gets flipped back on us, guys. We start to look stupid, and then people don't make the comments which need to be made about the problem with Islam in America and in Europe. So again, if you're going to post something, do your due diligence and look and see. I mean, I looked at this and I'm like, those are, I saw it right away. I was like, that's Eastern Orthodox. What Christians, priest, what are you saying? Yep. It's, and they did that with 9/11. They, those of us that were pointing some stuff out, they would, like, you know, fly a plane, and it looked like it was flying, you know, through buildings and some kind of crap. And then those of us, see, we're making, see, we told you. And this was years afterwards, because we're saying all those aircraft, that was all bullshit. And then they came out and they showed where, you know, there was some kind of reflection or something like that, and we all looked like dumbasses. This is what they do, all right? They being probably the CIA. I don't know. That's my take on it. So just be careful out there. This disinformation is going to continue to run amok. So I amuse myself by my language sometimes. All right, so let's look at what's going on in the Gulf. It's so funny. Trump strikes Iran following Hormuz attacks. So again, the timing of these attacks are very suspect to me, right? You know, the NATO being called out, and then Iran attacks. And U.S. military, we got to get involved now, right? Because they did stupid. Trump has been, you know, only on the weekends normally, because the stock market is going to probably react very negatively, as it did a little bit today when this was starting to leak out. Before the close, stock market was down. And so we'll have to see what happens tomorrow, if they can clean this up overnight. I don't think so, but we'll see. The U.S. military announced Tuesday evening. They like to do this after the stock market, and they prefer to do it on the weekends. That's when these usually happen. But because it's a 7/7 date, and NATO's meeting, the NATO Nazi satanic Luciferians. So the Satanists, remember, are Luciferian wannabes. So the very top of the food chain and the evil psychopaths realm, where once they reach these higher levels, 33-degree Mason, all that kind of bullshit, these guys have to do sacrifices and eat children and drink blood of children. It's like adrenochrome. It's what they do, right? So, they've been called out by a lot of us, and the Russians called them out. Vladimir Putin, about a year ago, says this is the end of the vampires, right? So I guess was it after he talked to Trump? Did they make a deal? We're going to take out the vampires now? Right? Maybe, right? Maybe that's why Mitch is gone. I don't know. Or maybe he's not. So we'll see. If he comes back, I'm like, that's obviously a clone. They're trying to expose this stuff, right? So or maybe they're dragging it out for some reason, which remains to be seen. Some very catastrophic event, because we know they have that up their sleeve. They want to bring on some catastrophe. That's the way they play the games. So they're launching a series of powerful strikes against Iran in retaliation for Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels. It wasn't one, because before it was one, and they did a little strike, a little slap in the face. Stop it, spanky, all right, whatever. So when they hit 3 of them, and I guess they attacked Bahrain or one of those places, somebody got attacked. And so Trump is like, okay, we got all these targets. Let's start hitting them. Let's hit them hard, right? And that's what we're doing right now. So this happened at 5:15 Eastern time. So after the bell, right? 4:30, right? 4 o'clock, 4:30, whatever it is. No, it's 4 o'clock. Or is it 5? I don't know. I forget. So it's like 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock on my time. So that makes it 4. Yeah, it's 4. So it starts at 9:30 and then it goes to 4. All right. So, they're going to start trading like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the only thing right now that trades 24/7. And soon they're going to trade gold and I think oil at 24 hours for 5 days. So during the trading week. Then eventually it's going to go to 7 days, 24/7. And then the stock market also is supposed to go at some point 24/5 and then 24/7, right? Boy, those stock market crashes are going to be brutal. Right? So they're going to just last. They're going to go fast. They'll be all day long. Usually at the end of the bell, 4 o'clock, then if everything's been selling off like crazy, they get a break and everybody gets to take a breath and, reassess. Now it's going to be just like fall. And then those people that, won't be able to trade, when it does come back around the world and they get to trade again, oh my God, it's going to be bad. So these things are coming. It will be, monumental having 24/7 trading. But in the meantime, they try and do these attacks so they don't make a big impact on the stock market, right? So that's what we're seeing right now. So the memorandum of understanding, the MOU, signed last month, because it's what it is. It's a piece of shit, cow shit, all right? Signed last month, lay the groundwork for fully reopening the strait, which Iran effectively closed shortly after the war began. The MOU says Iran will work with Oman to define the future administration. It's all bullshit. It didn't happen. I said it was bullshit. I said there's going to be boots on the ground when this all started. It hasn't happened yet, but I think it's going to happen still, right? And that's the only way this is going to end. And then everybody's going to cry and whine. I think it's happened as long as it has, to get people to the understanding that, hey, we need to take these mofos out, right? So they're out of control. They're part of the Nazi organization like NATO, and we just have to take all these Nazi organizations out. The world's not going to be a safe, happy place without them gone, right? So that's what we're looking at. So you want to be happy, right? You want to be safe. You can't have Nazis running the show. You can't have that. They had to be taken out. Hopefully you guys understand that. All right. The Treasury Department revoked a license Tuesday. So this is going full speed ahead, right? Like we say in the Navy, full speed ahead, you know, and ramming speed and all that stuff. That was a little bit further back, like during Greek days, whatever. All right, so Tuesday, that had authorized the sale. So our Treasury Department authorized that sale. That's interesting how that worked out. And when is the Treasury Department going to invoke the new currency, gold-backed currency? Come on, let's take this. Let's go full Monty on everything. So that's after the country fired missiles on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The department approved the 60-day license last month, which waived sanctions on Iranian oil as part of an interim agreement to end the fighting in the Middle East. So now the move is gone. No more move. Moo. Cow shit, right? All the cow shit's done, right? Now we're gonna hammer them. But there are good things that are happening. And one of those is they're starting to turn against each other. Right? So these guys are such clowns. And we used to do this. When I was in the CIA, we used to like take out baddies, terrorists, and they were like turned against each other, trying to figure out who was telling. Right. So, we had some really good people that were telling on them. Right. Yeah, they're going to be here this time. So, and make sure when you do the missile strike, you do it before he gets out of the car, because that happened one time where they were waiting to see if it was really him. So he got out of the car, then they shot the missile, and it hit the car and blew up. And he was walking through the gate by then, and he got some damage. All of his protective detail were taken out, and he got some shrapnel, but he lived. So it was so funny. The terrorist that we were working with, it's like what's that, double agent? Guess he was double agent, right? So he was hanging out with them, but he was talking to us. So he was a double agent. And so we got in the car after we failed to kill the terrorist leader. It was a religious leader, an imam, right? So he's like going, get them all riled up, and they all loved him. And then he go talk to the terrorists in the province, and they do attacks, and he go back and talk to the people. They get them all riled up, and on Friday, they go out and like riot. It's like, God, what? Pakistan, crazy people, wacky packies. So this terrorist gets in the car, and he was a big boy. And in the early days, I'd have to give him a hug, before he got in the car, make sure he didn't have a blow up vest on. It's like, okay, I get to be the pink mist and not you guys. So, but he was a good guy. He was a Taliban guy. He was a big boy. So we were buds, and so I'd hug him, and he'd get in the car, and I like check his legs, make sure he didn't have a gun in his socks or anything like that. And so he was good. He was always good. And he started saying, "Why do you guys always have to do this?" And after a while, we stopped. I was like, well, that's when they usually come in and blow themselves up. So I don't know. So he started working with another group that was in another area. All right, that's all I can say about that. But he got in the car, and he's like, "You got to shoot the missile before he gets out of the car." It's like, and I'm thinking in my mind, it's like, God, what a bunch of whack nuts these CIA controllers are, because they want to be in control of everything. And it's brutal common sense for somebody that knows how to blow people up, like myself. Demo guy, and I used to call in fire, and I used to do a lot of firing and all that kind of stuff, and shoot missiles myself. Well, not missiles, RPGs. So anyway, I'm like, God, what the hell? All the work we did, because it's freaking dangerous work, because you got ISI, which is the Pakistani security force, CIA equivalent, which is, you know, always watching. And so we had to be very careful. The movement had to be per certain way. Pickup points, you know, were different, and we had to clean ourselves. So I would drive sometimes, and you have to drive for an hour to make sure you clean, and then you come in, you pick the guy up at a certain time, and it's pretty brilliant, all the stuff they do. But you know, this guy getting in and saying, you guys are like, not saying it, but he's like, he was pissed because, I don't know, maybe he's pissed because he wasn't going to get his payoff. I don't know. But he got his payoff on that eventually. And he got his payoff on other ones. So he kept working. And it's pretty amazing guy, actually. He was also, he was a Taliban guy, and he fought against our troops. Right? So I don't know if he killed anybody, but he fought against us, and he got wounded. So he worked his wound for a long time. It's like, I can't go back out there because I'm still messed up. And so he was good, actually. And so he was working it, you know, so yeah. And my brother, his business is doing really good. He's into, you know, we made a business for his brother, which was a travel agency. So our boy would travel sometimes because his brother had a travel agency. He was traveling to meet people in CIA, of course. And so see how big this is. It's pretty cool, right? Hopefully I'm not getting myself in trouble exposing too much, but I don't think I am. I think that's all been in movies and everything. Everybody knows about this stuff. So anyway, I'm not saying name any names, pointing out any places or people. And I may or may not be lying about any of this. I may or may not know anything about this, but that's one of the things we say. And so anyway, U.S. military taking it to these guys, right? And I guarantee that there are special forces guys, like I used to be, that are there in Iran, and they're working with groups. And also, we've seen up in the northwest corner of Iran, in Iraq, we have the Peshmerga, who I used to work with too when I was in Iran, the northern part, the Kurds. So the Peshmerga, really amazing fighters, right? So they're assassinating IRGC. The Iranian, you know, knuckleheads that are basically running Iran now. They're turning against their political side. The military is basically killing. They're all turning against each other now. Is turning against their political side. So let's watch this. This is 2C TV, and he's basically showing us what's happening in Iran. No, that's not the one. These are strikes on Iran. I'll show this 2C TV next. Yes. So this is David Hookstead that's showing the attacks that are happening right now. Let's watch this real quick, and then we'll go to 2C.
You can hear the bombs going off. Let's listen to it again. Unbelievable footage coming out. This is footage right here of Bandar Abbas. What you see here on your screen is the immediate aftermath of U.S. strikes via Shin, coming now as we continue to hit targets. Any target we find or that we think we can find responsible for attacking these ships, we are going to go after. Okay, we got more strike footage coming in. This is coming from Keshem Island. Let's watch. You can hear the fighter jets in the air. Listen closely here at the beginning of the video. You can hear the fighter jets racing through the sky as they drop their bombs.
har sig gone. Yeah, now. Oh, what on?
All right. Jet jockeys kicking some ass out there. So good job. All right. So we're with no help from Europe, of course. We're kicking because they used to make out quite a bit with Iran. Iran would sell them oil cheaply, right? And that's why they didn't want to get involved, because they were making out. They're like, you're going to take away our cheap oil, right? Trump, stop. You're not part of us. You're not part of our deep state Nazi group. We don't like you. Stop it. All right. So it's not stopping. And he's going to continue. He's going to continue to basically destroy the deep state. Will we get more people that understand this and watch and get involved in this, like myself, informing people? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. All right. So here's Tusi TV. We're going to see basically these guys turning against each other.
This war in Iran has made the regime in Tehran stronger and more united than ever before. They're literally chasing each other down on the street. Let's go to the next video. This is where things escalate and they start attacking their own foreign minister. Idiots. It's coming in. Lebanon. Lebanon's getting hit massively.
All right. So these knuckleheads. These knuckleheads basically have, threatened President Trump because he killed their leader. So they want to kill our leader. And now they're turning on each other. Like I said, I've seen this before. When things start to really fall apart, they start to turn against each other and blame each other and then start killing each other. So that's good, because then we don't have to kill them. Right. So that's kind of what we want. It's kind of like the leftists don't have babies. They're in revolt, right? Men don't like leftist women, and women don't like leftist men. So it works out pretty good. So they're just going to cancel each other out over time, and we don't have any problems. Right? So be those of us that are conservative and we want a beautiful society, and our kids to grow up, without having to have sex changes, and have good education, not be, told that you got to support, Johnny and his sex change. And if you don't support that, like in Europe, there was a teacher that refused to identify a boy that was identifying as a girl. So she continued to identify him as a boy. So she got 700 days in prison. So, Europe is gone completely bonkers, right? And America would be completely bonkers too if Trump wasn't here, guys. So it is moving in the right direction, but of course it's going to take time. Now we'll probably see a lot of these people that are leftist just die out. They'll just die out because they're the ones that really got on board with that vaccine, and they're still getting vaccinated. And so they're all dying out. So I'm like, we told you. So our conscience is clear. We told you, don't get sex changes. Don't get, it's not going to work out so good for you guys, right? You're not going to be able to go forward. So you're basically going to just extinguish yourselves. And don't get the shot either. Oh yeah, all you Democrats just lined up for that, didn't you? Yeah, because that's your boy saying don't worry. And he got sick like 2 or 3 times. All right. So, of course, that was a clone. So the clone died, and they put another clone up there, Joe Biden clone. So you guys didn't know that. All right. So he got the shot. He showed, oh, I'm getting the shot. And then the clone died after that because clone, you know, it kills living organisms. So that's what happens. Right. It's so funny. All right. So let's look at the weather. All right. So the weather, like I've talked about in a couple times now, is going to get really, really earthquakes and all, volcanoes, all that stuff is really going to start to intensify. And this is we've had several super typhoons that have spun up. We got one that's spinning up, is moving towards Taiwan. And then ultimately it's going to hit China. Now, this is the last typhoon that went in and hit China. And when these typhoons come in and hit China, boy, it like just devastates them because they haven't done a really good job of maintaining their environment. They've used their environment, and Earth is like FO, right? F around, and you're going to find out, China, and they're finding out, all right? So you don't mess with Mother Nature, right? And Chinese are finding out what happens when you do. So they've had some devastating storms. Maybe there's been some help with that. I don't know.
Typhoon Maysak and its remnants kept affecting Guangxi. It brought heavy rain to the area since July 4th. Water levels in major reservoirs went up fast. Some reservoirs began releasing water, yet their old earth embankments could not stand the force. On July 6th, the dam at Lulan Reservoir in Hangzhou, Guangxi, broke suddenly. It left a gap about 50 meters long. At the same time, nearby reservoirs had similar issues. Yunbiao Reservoir, Sancha Reservoir, and Chayuan Reservoir saw dam failures. 4 reservoirs dealt with big emergencies in a row. This made flood defenses fail. It put hundreds of thousands of people downstream at risk. Luwan Reservoir in nearby Bingyang County also had water flowing over the top. On July 6, Yunbiao Reservoir overflowed. Before the gates could be closed, the dam collapsed. Don't call this a once-in-a-century flood. This is more like a once-in-a-thousand-year flood. Even a 1,000-year flood has never looked like this. Nothing like this has happened since the reservoir was built.
All right. So the reason why I want you guys to be aware of this is because this is being caused by El Nino, and not Nino Rodriguez, but El Nino. He's a good guy. All right, so El Nino is probably going to set records. I think it's going to be the hottest the Pacific has ever been. And my wife does that to me sometimes. Ever. It sounds pretty good when I say it too. So it is something that's really going to be devastating, I think, for America as well. Because when those, see how it's slowly like that, it turns like that, and then all of that weather comes to us. It comes to us, and there will be flooding in California, maybe all the way up. I think this is going to be so large. Normally, it stays a little bit further south, but I think this one is going to be so massive that it's going to go all the way up into Oregon, maybe as far as Washington. I don't know, Washington State, and then just flood everything all the way to the east. Flooding. So everything's burning right now, especially in Colorado. Illegal immigrants are setting it. No, it's like direct energy weapons are setting them. So they're starting fires in Colorado. They love to set fires in Colorado. I don't know. Maybe that underground base under Denver Airport where all the reptilians are, maybe they like it hot. You know, it gets chilly and they don't like it. I don't know. So we'll have to ask them someday when we take them prisoner. So they're pretty ruthless. Yeah, they're big too. So we'll take them down eventually. Now, we're seeing a lot of this weather. The next one that's coming for China is going to be just as big, if probably, and maybe even more devastating than the one you just saw. So this is the next one. Let me bring this up. So it is Mr. MBB3333. He's got a nice report on this. So let's listen to him.
The slightest left-hand turn, it's going to go smack dab into Taiwan, where they have a population of 23 million people alone, and it's going to impact Taiwan in the form of rain and high winds, but it's just not going to make a direct landfall. At least that's what's being forecasted right now. That could change, and I'm talking it is super, super tight. In fact, Taiwan is in the cone. A little bit of steering to the left, it's going to go to Taiwan. Right now, it's anticipated to make landfall. I mean, I don't know how it's going to do this. It's going to drop from a Category 4, a strong Category 4, to a Category 2 as it makes landfall right in the middle of, where are we at here? Google Earth. Here we go. Populations of 10 million and 8 million plus, just a lot of people. This is a super densely populated area, as you can clearly see. Look at that. That's right where it's going, right into millions of people. So we're keeping an eye on that. That is a big, strong storm, and it means business. And I mean, it's loaded with moisture. This thing is super, super wet, and it's strong. It's again, very large storm that it just made a turn to the left. Did you see that? Right as we went to the page, it tilted to the left. Super typhoon, 150 miles an hour. That's a big storm. What?
Did you see that? It turned to the left. I can't do my voice like that. But he does a really good job of it. I like listening to him. He's like, he gets you all excited. It's like, wow, like it's exciting. So it is getting interesting out there weather-wise. And, these deep staters, they're still going to play their games. The world could be, devastated, and they're still doing their stuff. Right. But we're calling them out. I think we're doing a pretty good job calling them out, like Dolly Parton. So Dolly Parton. And we have to end with this one. All right. Because she's 80. She looks 80, doesn't she? Right. Clone? Anyone? So Dolly Parton asked Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce if she can have their first baby. Why would you want their first baby? Is that why you're so young? I don't know. But they donated $2 million to her. What's going on? Why Dolly Parton? Why Dolly Parton? Look at that. And her husband died several years back. I wonder what secrets he took to the grave, right? Is Dolly really a woman? I don't know. She never had kids. So the Jolene hitmaker added, the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, and have lots of kids that come to her amusement parks. Have any of them been disappearing there? Anyway, let's look at what's happening here. There is some signing that goes on, and it looks like some devil stuff. Let's watch.
Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly. And I was just told that you two are making a donation of $2 million to my imagination library. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm blown away and overjoyed with that gratitude. Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives. So, hey, when you have your firstborn.
Oh, look at that devil sign. Oh, she made it. She did it. She did the devil sign right there, guys. So when you have that first kid, I want it.
I have it because that is going to be one special baby. The mission.
Why is she slurring? So anyway, they play their little games. They make their little signs at each other, and they talk their ridiculousness. So I don't know. Maybe Taylor Swift and Travis, they owe the deep state their first. Their firstborn. And that's going to be very interesting to see if that actually happens. All right. Kind of like Glitch Mitch, walks back out. It's like, what? I'm cool. But yeah, I fell down. I got hurt myself, but that's all. Right. So, okay. And I guess, you know, he was being wheelchaired around for a little bit. He would glitch pretty good. And his handlers, John Thune and a couple of other senators, would come up, you know, when he started to talk a little bit, and they touch him. There's some place that they have on his arm. So they would come up and they grasp him, and he'd just go, boop. He glitched. He would glitch, and he'd just go quiet. And then they were like, yeah, Mitch, can you come this way? So they take him away. he was starting to reveal some stuff that they didn't want him to reveal. So they shut him down. Somebody stepped in and touched him, and it's like, oh, whoop, turn him off. Right. And then he was falling down. He kept falling down. And you know, some of these senators, I don't know, maybe they just get ornery and they don't want to play the game anymore. And they're like, you got to play the game. You got all these things that we gave you, all these millions, like Nancy Pelosi. She's not messing around. So how much has she made as a senator? As a congresswoman in her time? 3, 4, 5 million, who knows? But she's worth 300 million. So yeah, she's given a lot. She's done a lot for the deep state. So she can't just walk away, even though her husband is like a gay man and, you know, gets drunk and runs over people and runs away thinking he can get away with that. It's just things are changing. We're like, you know, getting wiser to their craziness and calling it out. And this is one of the things that really makes a difference, guys. Start to call it out, you know, sharing videos like this. And, you know, probably some of your friends are like, I watched the last video that guy did, and I don't believe any of that bullshit. But then you share another one. They're like, watch it at 333 and whatever number it is. And they watch that and they're like, oh, dang, that's I know that. Right. So I've heard that before. And then the unwind starts. They wait. They're no longer woke. And then they actually get a girlfriend or boyfriend and have babies. So, you know, there's hope for these people. I don't know. Not for all of them, but of course, because some of them have strayed too far, like Dolly wanting the firstborn. Right? I don't know. I don't know about that one, guys. That's pretty strange to me. And making that devil horn sign. Yeah. Okay, Dolly, we see it. And they don't care. They don't care. They're just going to do it. Dolly, she's 80. She doesn't care anymore. She's been playing a game. You know, it doesn't matter to her anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do my thing. Give me your firstborn, right? And well, what are you going to do with my firstborn? It's none of your business. I'm going to love them. I'm going to take them to Dollywood, and we're going to ride rides together, like Disney World and Disneyland and all that stuff, right? All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. Things are being revealed. It's happening. Of course, these guys don't really like it when we know too much. So they're going to get a little feisty with us, like they just did with the Iran shooting missiles that you know, they said they wouldn't hit anymore, so they did anyway. While NATO's meeting and Trump timed up NATO, so they're like, all right, we'll show him. All right. We'll see what happens. All right, stay in love vibration. We'll see you guys next time.